Okay, welcome back. We are continuing with the Errant Kingdom playthrough. This time we're doing Night Chapter 4. As you'll recall, we did Ambassador Chapter 4 last week, and they had a talk with the god, and then got to pick the romance route. So something similar is going to happen here. Okay, that being said, last week's stream was a bit short, so this week will also be short for the same reason. Okay, that music is loud. Okay. For a very long moment, I'm convinced that I'm dreaming. Blackened trees rise above my head into a sickly greenish miasma that I can't see past. The lanterns on their trunks frighten more than illuminate. I feel sick, not with terror exactly, but with the visceral, inescapable feeling that this isn't right, that I'm not meant to be here. I close my eyes. The darkness afforded to me is only passingly comforting, and when I open them again, I'm still here. Eric? Silence. I look around. Of course he's not there. No one is here except for me. That, too, I know instinctively. Now the terror sets in. I take a breath, and another, and another, and another, until my spinning head and thundering heart are more under control. This is no time to lose your mind, Ehab, or at least any more than what's already happening. Remember your training. That's why you have the training, so you can deal with situations like this. There's a path through the trees. I see it now, snaking in its way ahead into the green haze. My stomach churns at the mere thought of following it, but, is there anything else to do? I look at the weapon in my hand, still painted with the demon's ashes and fur and weighing like lead. It won't do me any good here, save be another burden to carry. Wait, and I would never think that. My weapon is where my life depends. Why would I think of abandoning it? You know yourself. Good. The thought sends chills down my spine because a thought it is. Unless it makes no sound, nothing I can perceive with my ears. I feel its foreignness in my mind all the same. Who are you? Get out! Silence. My heart rate is spiking again, and I brandish my blade with a scowl. Useless, is it? We'll see. Then I see it, a shadow in the haze. Hey, this day looks familiar. It's down the road, because of course it would be. I hear the rattling of the lantern attached to the staff it carries. I can also barely make out the vaguely humanoid shape, shrouded in cloak and feathers. The creature is too far away for me to make out any more details. When it raises its hooded head to regard me, I have the distinct feeling that there is no face beneath. No face I can comprehend, anyway. But what else is new in this god-forsaken place? Not God-forsaken. The thought carries a hint of amusement this time. I glower at the distant figure, and it rattles its lantern at me as though chastising. For at least a sake, quiet, resting that staff upon its feathered shoulder. Spirit turns and walks away. I watched that light getting dimmer and dimmer for a long moment before making my decision. Not that there seemed to be much of a choice offered to me, anyway, and follow. The path I take feels eerily familiar. I can't quite place why until the trees finally give way to buildings. The fractured road winds beyond fragments of what must have been a proper gate once. Everything fills me with dread and a niggling thought that I had been here before. Everything was fine when I left. Nothing could have happened so quickly without me knowing. Livia wouldn't have let it. Maja wouldn't have let it. The otherworldly guide's lantern glow remains a fixed distance away, much to my chagrin, but neither does my strength wane. I become aware of it just as we approach what would have been the gate leading into the castle. There the creature pauses, its crest of risen feathers rustling. I stop a short distance away, suddenly realizing that I don't have my weapon drawn. Not that I could do anything with it. Who are you? The voluminous head moves. That long-fingered, monstrous hand rattles the lantern staff and swings it to rest on a feathered shoulder. Then, with the other, the mysterious being salutes me and bows, as though in acknowledgement. The gesture is so surprising I almost bow back in a knee-jerk reaction. Feel a pang of alien amusement. Not my own. That's fun. Irritating. Never mind that. What the hell happened here? Where is everyone? What have you done to Novus? The creature tilts its hooded head back, then turns away. Hey, wait! Waste not your breath. The guide's work is done. I turn. The armored newcomer towers over me. How they've gotten so close without me hearing the rattling of their heavy breastplate, I don't know, but I have to take 2 steps back to fully perceive their figure. In one hand they hold the spear banner, the beautiful livery of Novus cascading from its tip. The other gauntleted hand rests on the sheathed sword at their hip in a way that reminds me, with the pang of sudden homesickness, of Livia. The gray-skinned being beneath the splendid, awful helmet smiles. It pleases me to see you recognize my form and that of my champions, even if she will never know it. But such is the joy of favoring mortals. Those who are favored have no need of our care. The giant figure rests their spear banner on their shoulder and steps past me, and now the earth near shakes beneath their iron feet. They lumber up the stone steps towards the castle gates, taking them 3 at a time, and it's a miracle they don't crumble under their heels. Who are you? My voice sounds out of body, far away. You do not recognize me? They turn and tilt their head, and I have a feeling they're looking directly at me now, and it takes every damn ounce of resolve in my body not to shrink from that invisible gaze. I can feel the intensity of their attention like a terrible brand. Good. It is proof that you are beyond our influence, and therefore the Union's. They tap the butt of their spear on the ground, sending a tremble through the earth and clearing away the accumulating dust, rustling my clothes. I am Canidros, the Alabaster Maiden, she who presides under my gaze justice is named, defended, and exacted. And you, Ehab Kabir, walk now among the vision of a future I labor to salvage. Excuse me, pardon? I look at my surroundings, at the cracked streets and sundered walls. There's no distinctive smell. I can almost imagine the depth of forlorn stillness as if this had been real. Rather bleak, this vision of yours. Canidros doesn't move, but if she had pinched the bridge of her nose aside, I think even then I wouldn't have understand her reaction any more keenly. It's unsettling. That it is. Hence my insistence that does not come to pass. A moment passes in silence, tensely for me, contemplatively for this proclaimed goddess. Then Canidros turns her head from side to side like she's trying to look at me from under her helm with one eye at a time. I have a feeling she might not even have a full human face under it, as much as she seems human now, standing in front of me. You still stand. Good. Were you waiting for me to faint? Yes. It might have been funny any other time how deadpan she sounds about it. I can't even summon a whiff of mirth right now. Try as we might, these like us often either stupefy mortals or drive them to deny us to save their sanity. Yet you are sound of mind still. Very well. Ganydra sketches around us with a hand. More than a vision for what is to come, this is also a memory. Ours is ancient soil, no less than the sun-drenched sand land you hail from, traveler. Mortals have warred, loved, and died upon this earth, while the Fae dance their endless, uncaring cycles around the seasons. They have built kingdoms, and they have let them fall. So many times have I watched it happen, and now, once more, I see the first sign of another decline. A chill runs down my spine. But how can that be? Novus is strong, its people prosperous. The crown holds the land and all its lords under their rule. Mortals have a saying they are quite fond of the iron fist, the iron grip, our favored souls, but splendid crown, twin jewels of this land, who have chosen one another and share in the sacred duty of their kingdom's peace, certainly have such an iron grip. Yet shackles are cast from iron, chains, guillotines. Ganydra swings her spear on her shoulder once more and slowly bends down to one knee. At first I think she's just getting a closer look at me, as I take a few involuntary steps back as you eyes. Her polished breastplate groans as it splinters. Her skin turns gray as funeral ash. Arrows sprout from her back, piercing through the steel and into her godly immortal body. She bleeds ambrosia gold, the droplets falling heavy as the metal itself upon the ground. With another groan, her beautiful golden helm cracks. Her sword, too, is shattered, though this last detail I only realize peripherally, transfixed by that eldritch eye under the helm, the way it fixates on me. Her voice is no longer her own, but 100, 1,000, a muffled cacophony. The chains pulled tightly around the kingdom's throat already it bruises and batters the good souls who truly deserve my favor, brought them to banishment and dishonor where fair judgment is due. Who could she be referring to? Not Eric, certainly. The Union does not agree. Novus believes it can guide mortals to partake in the eternal, that they could help you build a truly perfect kingdom, above good and evil, above the quarrels of those with needs and desires. An ascendant society. They will fail. They cannot offer salvation to people so fundamentally different from beings like us. Man's betterment must be by his own making. Novus doesn't heed my counsels, nor that of my brethren. They cannot forget the horror of the last kingdom's fall, perhaps. By letting Novus push the kingdom to that false absolute, we risk seeing another collapse. There is no soul grown upon our soil Novus cannot personally touch, cannot subtly influence, and so I seek a champion from behind our land, a traveler with a sympathetic heart. Me. You. It's almost laughable. If not for Ganydra' overbearing presence like a steel anvil above me, I might have laughed. Me, a god's accomplice? It's not like she's asking something small of me, either. You're asking me to commit treason against Novus and its patron god. I'm asking you to remind Novus's crown and their patrons both that closing one's ears to reason and science in the opposition is by no means justice, and that the goddess to whom they have entrusted it as her domain will not stand for it. It will be an honor, then. If you would allow me one question. Why care so much that Novus is trying to make an ascendant society out of your people? I would think gods like to make mortals in their image. Since Ganydra is his puzzlement, than amusement. It's strange in how gentle it triggers that latter emotion, but she's smiling at me even though her terrible form doesn't change. People look to gods for guidance, strength, inspiration. It is by their fervent belief that I am given the form you see, something tangible, carved from the writhing chaos of eternity that I was before. As mortals place their faith in me, I place mine in them. I have borne witness to their struggles through the ages. I have seen the fruits of their attempts and the lessons they have taken from their failures. Ours is the bond of a covenant, traveler, and I will not destroy my benefactors in an act of love. As far as Novus will do if we do not stop them. As I fear Novus will do if we do not stop them. She slowly straightens, her underform heals, her armor mends, the arrows on her back vanish, her sword is no longer broken. Yet I don't feel the shifting of a glamour. It's as if there's a shift in perspective. Like if I walk up to her, the damage will still be there. I just need to look more clearly, more closely. Yeah. I have said what needs to be said. Now. Suddenly, she stops. I feel it too, a shift in the air. Something not quite quantifiable, but still undeniable. But before I can attempt to quantify it, the world has changed. Novus. They found us. Dun dun dun. Listen well, Ehab Kadir. In meeting me, you have made yourself known to them. I shall place upon you an aegis, that you may walk free of their eyes. But you must. The voice fractures. The image, too, coming undone at the edge, the colors and gleaming metal fading into strands of light at the edges, straining, dissolving. It pains my eyes to watch, so I have to turn away, stepping back, hoping that it won't be a mistake. The voice washes over me in a discordant, tuneless noise now. Can't make out the words anymore, and something new turns its attention to me. Something gargantuan, so large that surely can't exist. No, there's no way that it's real. I grasp for breath as my lungs feel like they've shriveled up. As gravity crushes me to my knees. But it's here, right above me, all around me. Its eyeless gaze fixed on all of me. There's nothing it doesn't see, nothing it stares. Nova, the Union. I can't breathe under their crushing attention. I can't. I need to plug my headphones in. Okay, that's done. Why do I oppose the wish to save my fellows? Why do I even doubt something this powerful, this immense, this eternal could be wrong? The 100 years of war we have endured, the 100 years more we can avoid. I remember the burning streets I've never been to. I remember the people starved and begging or killing and plundering. I remember the hollow ache as mortal souls cry out for salvation, the pain that burns like 1,000 pyres, their resolve as heavy as 1,000 stars. No breath bears down upon me, their thoughts a relentless torrent, their will absolute, asking me and making me see at the same time. I can't survive this. Gauntleted fingers close around my wrist, my shoulders burn, the searing pain terrible, but bright enough that I can focus on it beyond the storm. Think and return home. The world shakes, splintering. Novak roars in silent rage, bearing down again. I have to go now. I have to go to... Forgot to save it. We're going to go with Eric because that's who we were with right before Knidris snatched us away. Back to Eric. I abandoned him in the middle of the forest with no warning or explanation. One more disappearance in the middle of the night. I won't leave him there. I won't leave him to wonder if something terrible happened in front of his eyes they had no explanation for yet again. No God will kill me. I grit my teeth and reach for Eric's memory with all my strength. And the world shatters like glass, and then I'm falling. We will meet again. No Bob is there and isn't there, their presence slipping away in an echoing cry of regret and anger. At my back, something burns like a hand on my shoulder, pulling me along. You will be safe. Is it my voice or a God's? I can't tell. And then it's over. Ehab, come back to me. His voice pierces the haze. Maybe it's Eric shaking me like a salt shaker. That ought to dislodge whispering of elder gods from your brain. Eric? Gods, you're back. My face is pressed against the sweaty, rough fabric shoulder. The arms around me are warm and solid, holding me steady against even my own overtaxed sensory receptors. You were there and then you weren't. I called out and there was no answer. He releases me, enough that his face appears in my vision. He's frowning, concern rolling off of him in waves, and I can sense the question in his eyes. I open my mouth and close it. How do I even explain everything that happened? Did something actually happen, or did I just get wrapped up in a very long and potentially magical daydream? But the dread settling like lead in the pit of my stomach tells me it's not a daydream or even a hallucination, that it's nothing short of real and terrifying. Ehab, look at me. Eric's gentle urging and the much less gentle shaking he's subjecting me to snaps me out of building haze somewhat. I shudder involuntarily, then have to grind my teeth together so that the shuddering would stop. Look at me. I do. Nearly that's the thing for title. Eric is frowning. His face is inches from mine. I can smell the grass and the sweat clinging to him, like he's been running for hours around here. Had he? Had he done that, looking for me? You look unfairly handsome, especially when sweaty and disheveled. How is that even possible? Eric reels back, blinking. Then he scowls and shakes my shoulders. I was actually worried, damn you. You trying to shake an apology out of me? You can have it, you know. I'm sorry. Are you hurt? Any pains? No. I realize he's writing down the basic questions soldiers ask one another to map out injuries and treatment. This isn't simply casual concern. It helps, this return to a routine I know. No. Limbs, chest, abdomen, head. Scout's hands are moving over me as he speaks, cataloging everything for himself. I let him. It's nice to have this physical contact as my mind fully settles down. And the incredulity of what the hell actually happened, it hits. Eric? No concussions? Damn darkness. Where's my lantern? Eric! I grab his hands and squeeze them. It makes him stop and look at me. Whatever he sees on my face makes him put the lantern back down and simply wait. I squeeze his hands again when he lets me keep holding on to them. I had an audience with a goddess. On second thought, saying it aloud makes it sound just as absurd. Maybe the demon pulled some trick before we killed it. Yes, maybe. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's all. I look around us at the trees' silhouettes. Night birds are singing and the quiet breezes rustle the leaves. Everything is fine. No. Faintly in the back of my mind, I feel a sense of caution. No. Doesn't seem so, huh? Eric is watching me critically, concern knitting his brow. He raises a hand, then hesitates, and then brushes a finger on my cheek, touch feather-light, like he's afraid to hurt me. I close my eyes and lean into the warmth. Eric's voice is very soft. Let's get you out of the open first, then you can tell me what happened. I nod jerkily. The motion feels like it dislodges something already barely hanging on in my skull, and the world tilts dangerously. When it rights itself again, I'm resting against a strong, muscular back. It takes me another second to realize it's Eric. This is nice. Snuggly. Don't make me drop you. Oh, Eric. In a way, it's a bit like romancing Alcar from When the Night Comes. Which is funny because I've actually been working on that playthrough offline. I think Eric is more willing to be soppy and romantic than Alcar. I grimaced and put my mouth next to the shell of his ear. Would you really do that? Eric's sharp intake of breath is deliciously evident against my body. Keep that up and you will find out. His grip on me tightens. He's quiet as he carries me away. The steady beat of Eric's heart under my chest is a reassuring and grounding rhythm to focus on. So I do, keeping my eyes shut against rising nausea. I don't know how long I'm like that, just trying to recover from the whatever it was I just survived. I want it to not be real, but as soon as my tired mind starts to halfway believe it, my shoulders throb. So last time the ambassador had something on their hand. This time the knight has something on their back. An aegis. The hell is an aegis? It's a shield. I jolt awake. Did I say that out loud? You've been muttering to yourself this entire time. I lost my marbles on the way back, as well as the ability to tell when I'm speaking out loud and when I'm not. Fantastic. At least that thought doesn't seem to have escaped my mouth without me knowing, because Eric gives no reaction. He's carried me all the way to the steps of his cabin. Reluctantly, I let go of him, and the loss of contact and of his warmth feels almost devastating. Eric raises an eyebrow when I keep my hand on his elbow, but doesn't shrug me off. He takes it instead and holds it. For a moment, we both stare at it, our joined hands. I met a goddess. Eric takes his hand back. He presses it to my forehead instead. I close my eyes and lean into the touch. Is it normal? Yes. I grunt. Some parts of me wish it hasn't been, that this is all an easily explainable hallucination from fever, perhaps that demon's fault. Yet I am sane, and my shoulder blades still throb. Eric takes his hand away again, so I shake my head, and so his touch lingers. I feel his palm on my cheek, his short calluses on my skin. What happened? On your end. We defeated the demon. I knelt down to pick up the brooch that would prove its demise. Then I feel a terrible, unearthly chill. I looked up, and you were gone. Squeezed my eyes shut, remembering what it was that led me to that strange world, to begin with. Ehab? Eric's thumb brushes my cheekbones, his touch so gentle, I can't help the way my breath hitches. Yeah, we're gonna kiss him. When I open my eyes again, he's so close, so very close, warm and solid and real. It's nothing at all too close to close that distance and touch my lips to his. I could feel Eric freeze. For a moment, I'm afraid he's going to draw away, and what am I doing? Quickly, I try to lean back, but then his arm is around my waist. He's leaning in, and the kiss all but consumed me. I was terrified. His voice is gruff with emotion, and I winced guiltily, clutching at his shoulder. I'm sorry. Eric leans away now, just enough to look me in the eye. He twines his fingers tight around mine. Did you disappear on me willingly? No, of course not. Then you don't have to apologize. Oh, isn't that sweet? Ever the chivalrous knight. He looks at our joined hands for a moment. I wonder if he can hear the way my heart is thundering in my chest. I had thought maybe you had been so cowardly as hoped that I've misread your advances. He chuckles humorlessly, then takes a deep breath. Are you sure, Ehab, that I am what you want? You have a silly mouth. Eric scowls at me, his cheeks red in the lantern light. I'm going to kiss it. I don't know, that's just really funny. And really sweet. I followed through with the threat. He chuckling against my mouth. Eric lets me go, then sits down by my side on the steps of his cabin. He wraps an arm around my shoulders, pulling me in. I wince as he accidentally brushes the somewhat still stinging pain on my shoulder blades. Instantly, Eric's eyes narrow. Are you injured? I'm not sure. It's not an injury. Canidris, she said something about an aegis. Let me see, Ehab. I helped him get my shirt off, clumsily. The night air that's been pleasant before is far too chilly against my exposed shoulders, and I shiver, even though I only pull off enough that Eric can check. There's a moment of silence. It's nothing, isn't it? I wouldn't say that. Then he sucks in a deep breath. I feel the tips of his warm fingers tracing across my skin, making it tingle, but the pain is fully gone. I shiver again. Come on, don't keep me waiting in suspense. What is it? The Aegis. That can't be. It went away. A chill runs down my spine. The Aegis. The thing Canidris mentioned. Has she literally placed it on me? Eric clutches his tongue and yanks my shirt up, then steps around to help me rebutton it. It's too cold out here. Nor do I think we should brave the journey back to Novus tonight. Demons' deaths attract more of their kind. And you look awful. Eric grips my arms, not that he's let go this entire time, and shakes his head. Let's get you out of the cold. Eric, I'm not lying. I'm not crazy either. I don't think you are. But you're clearly tired beyond whatever. I think that's supposed to be tired. I'm not sure. Tried beyond whatever you were prepared for, and it's not getting any earlier. Come on, Ehab. I'll keep the fire burning. The sound of my name, so softly spoken, dries up any protest I'd prepared. I let him haul me up and help me into his cabin. He's probably right. The rest can wait. To be continued. So that's it. So yeah, Eric is a sweetheart under that gruff exterior, which I'm pretty sure he developed as a self-defense mechanism against the hoity-toity peeps at the castle who looked down on him for his for being a commoner at first instead of a noble. And for the record, yes, we will be going with the poly rap for Eric and Maja. I'm almost tempted to do the Maja scene, but it wouldn't be continuing it, so it'd be kind of unfair. So if you want to see the knight meet Maja, buy the game and play it yourself. If you have the game, go play it yourself. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today. I will be back Sunday to continue with When the Night Comes revamp. We'll be playing Chapter 5. Yeah, I think the rest of the chapters of the base game for the revamp will be one at a time. And then next Wednesday we will play the nomad route, and you'll find out who I'm going to pick for the nomad, because I deliberately picked an option that left the nomad with no one when they were swept away. But I'm going to keep my choice too close to my chest for now. So I hope you'll have a great day, a great week, and see you next time, whenever that may be. Bye.